Okay, in this demo I'm going to show you how to set up a new document in Photoshop for the Name with Pictures assignment and show you how to crop the letters to fit in this document. We're going to give 3 by 3 inch square for each letter. So if you used 5 letters, then the length of your document is going to be 15 and everyone's height is going to be 3. So in Photoshop, you want to do a new document. So File, New, or Command N when you're in Photoshop. And we want to set the width based on the number of letters you're using. I'm using 6. I'm doing my last name. So I'll set that to 18. 3 times 6 is 18. The height for everybody is going to be 3. And make sure these are inches here. And the resolution should be 300 pixels per inch. RGB color and 8-bit background contents at white. And if you want to go ahead and name it, you can, but you don't have to at this point. Click OK, and we'll get a new blank document here. Then you want to go to the folder with your letters, and hopefully you've got a number of your letters taken already. Oops, those are examples. And I've got my letters here, and I'll open one of them, and I'm going to have to open it with Photoshop. So right click, open with Photoshop. And then we have to crop each letter, okay? Uh, the photograph size can vary. Even if you got really close and filled the frame of your photo with your letter, you're still going to have to crop it so that the height will be set at 3 inches. Now the width can vary um, depending on the letter. So we're going to leave width blank, and the option palette runs along the top here. So make sure you have the crop tool selected. That is C on the keyboard. Leave the width blank. Height, type in 3IN for inches, and then resolution, set that to 300. And then you want to come into your image and just crop in on the letter. No need to get too much space around it. You want it to fill the space pretty well. Select with the crop tool and hit enter. And I'm going to pull this tab out so I have a separate window. And I'm going to hit Command 0 just to scale my picture up here. And then you want to use the Move tool. So you can either click on it, it's the top tool on the tool palette, or you can hit the V on the keyboard. Okay, V on the keyboard is the Move tool. And then you just want to grab and hold and drag it to the blank document we made, and that is your first letter. And you're just going to go through and do this with each one. And I'm not going to save my crop. I'm going through and doing each one of these. Now you may have to, if you had to rotate the picture, that's okay. Move tool. I've got guides and stuff turned on. That's what those pink lines are. Y'all don't necessarily have to have those on right now. Another way you can open a document by, instead of right clicking, is to drag it down to the Photoshop icon. So I'm just dragging and getting each one selected, cropping it, Move tool, and drag it over and put it in place. In fact, let me show y'all how to turn on the guides. If you'll go to Photoshop, Preferences, Guides, Grids, and Slices, you can see the colors here are set for the guides are blue and the smart guides are magenta. And then you just go to the View menu and go down to Show Smart Guides and turn that on. Okay, so that'll give you those little pink guidelines that I'm getting there to help line things up. I'm just going through and cropping each one. And you can see, hopefully you've noticed that the width is varying on my letters, and that's why I did not set it to a specific width. You want to make sure that it butts up against the other letter. Last one. I actually got the entire thing. Now you do want to crop in on your letter. Well, if you were a fair distance from the letter when you took the picture, you do need to crop in on just the letter. Okay. All right, so you can see I have a lot of extra space at the end. Even though I determined that I was going to set 3 inches for each letter, I have a lot of space left over, and that's fine. We want to crop it down to remove that excess space. So back to the crop tool, and then up at the top in the options, you want to go ahead and clear it. You don't want any settings there. All right, and then crop in and get all of your letters and remove that excess space. All right, so that is the first demo in the Name with Pictures assignment.